go. Welcome into CHGO Bets Daily, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download the app today and use promo code CHGO when you sign up. Welcome into a remote version of CHGO Bets Daily. I'm Sean Anderson. You can follow me on Twitter at Sean_W_Anderson. You can follow the Bets account at CHGO_Bets. And that's Cody Delmendo. You can follow him on Twitter at Cody_CHGO. We are your partners in degeneracy. We will help you through the MLB slate today. Talk a little bit about Cubs Brewers tomorrow. And we have some Final Four games happening tomorrow as well. FAU taking on SDSU and UConn taking on Miami of Florida. Cody and I will give you some best bets for all of those games, some slates, some MLB games today, some MLB games tomorrow, some hit parlays. And shout out to our producer, Joey Spathis. We just had a little test run, but Joey forgot to go live. So we're going to do it live now. So shout out to Joey.
We just sat here and talked for like maybe 7 minutes thinking we were live.
And we talked about how much fun yesterday was, how everyone did a great job setting it up. And Joey did a great job of setting it up today, but we forgot to just press that go button.
Yeah. Believe it or not the first time that's happened, but the first time with Joey when it comes to doing this show with us.
So it occasionally on StreamYard you can click go live and it will like spin, and then it might say like failed to go live, try again. I want to say that's what happened, but
it's all right. You did a good job. And hey, we were a little bit rusty. Now we're coming off, rust is completely knocked off. And we're just, we're here ready to go. Our guy James Orlando's hanging out in the chat. He's got an FAU Miami parlay. And he's also asking how Sox pregame went. We just talked about this a little bit before Joey didn't go live. Cubs event went well out at Country Club. The White Sox pregame and postgame out at the Whistle went well. As Cody said pre-show, it was kind of career-defining. What would you use?
Career fulfilling. Yeah. It was one of those moments when you look back in 5 years and you're like, remember that? And you're like, look how far we've come. Probably not only just this company, but also just my own career. I had never done a live remote show somewhere, like at a bar or anything like that. It was cool to be a part of and to see the people who watch and listen to the CHGO Cubs on a daily basis come out and support. The few that did, on top of the friends that I invited. It was cool. It was awesome. And, it's a moment that I'll probably remember, or a day that I'll probably remember for a really long time.
Cody, you're going to remember this day for a very long time. I got breaking news. I got breaking news from the NCAA transfer portal.
Oh,
Illinois rival, Illinois target, Illinois Illinois fans hate him. Hunter Dickinson has entered the transfer portal.
Oh, he's entered the transfer portal. Oh,
Leon.
Oh man,
where's he gonna go? A little mid-major in the West Coast?
He'll stay in the Power 5. He'll stay in the Power 5. But I would laugh if he did go to like another Big Ten school. That's I did not know this. This is interesting stuff.
It just happened.
Oh, it did just break. Okay,
yeah, like 2:15.
I could see him going like to like the Big 12 or ACC or something like that. He's good enough to stay in the
from Virginia.
Okay. Yeah.
Had offers from Duke, Florida State, and Notre Dame. Obviously, a little bit different than a 4-star player that he was coming out. But I don't know if
that's pretty
region's going to matter.
That's pretty funny that he entered the transfer portal.
He talks so much shit to Wisconsin and Illinois, and then he's just going to run away.
And he's going to run away. Yeah, this guy he does suck. Yes, he is legitimately the only reason I've ever really like hated Michigan basketball. That is, I've never hated them as much as I did with him there. It's kind of like how I felt with Wisconsin when Brad Davison was there. I don't hate Wisconsin that much anymore since Brad Davison is gone. I just like there's just certain players on certain teams that make me want to hate teams because of one particular guy. He was one.
Yeah, no, he's definitely drawn the ire of a lot of different fan bases for good reason. I mean, a guy talks a lot of crap for.
He talks a lot of crap, and sometimes he can back it up. He wasn't the reason that Michigan was not good this year. They just, I don't know. I think it's more so Juwan Howard than anything else. But anyway,
we'll see. We got some baseball to talk about. Cubs play tomorrow and some Final Four bets. We do want to let you know about DraftKings Sportsbook. Right now, they do have an MLB season opener, no sweat bet. You can place any MLB bet and get a bonus bet back if you lose. All games from the 30th to the 2nd. Opt in, place any MLB bet, and if your first qualifying bet after opting in loses, they'll credit you back with a bonus bet up to $10. I bet on the Astros yesterday to cover 1.5 runs at plus 140. Put $10 down. It lost. I got a $10 free back, a $10 bonus bet back in my account. And I said, it's a bonus bet. If I put the $10 wager down, I'm not going to get the wager back, right? Because it's a bonus bet. Yeah. So we got to sprinkle it on a little parlay here. This is at plus 272 for tonight. Mets to lose by at least a run. I feel like they win the game outright, and I'll have a best bet for that later. But I do think they'll handle the Marlins pretty easily down in Miami. The Mariners -1. I think they beat the Guardians. They beat the Guardians last night 3-0. I don't think the Guardians are good outside of the AL Central. I think they're going to struggle. And they got Hunter Gaddis starting tonight. Robbie Ray is on the bump for the Mariners. I like the pitching matchup in the favor of Seattle. And then the Dodgers +1. They smoked the Diamondbacks last night 8-2. And Merrill Kelly is on the bump. He is good enough to be on Team USA when all the 25 best other American starting pitchers opt out. I think the Dodgers handle him very well. So that's at plus 272, a $10 bonus bet used. So I think I get paid out $27 or something if it is.
I don't hate it. As far as the Mets, I mean, you did an alternate line, right? Because they're -1.5 on the regular spread. I don't hate it. I think Luzardo's good, but to just do the alternate line of to lose by 1 run or less, obviously, that's decent. To do it in a parlay makes sense. I like that the -1.5. It's at plus 145 right now. So the Vegas thinks that game's going to be a 1-run game, and based off the odds. So,
well, and I think too, I think this is supposed to be Verlander starting. But here comes David Peterson. Yeah, he's on the IL. Here comes David Peterson. He played the Marlins a couple times last year. And the Mets didn't have great success. They went 1-2 in his starts, but he's had Ks of 7, 8, and 7 against the Marlins last year. A little bit of a different lineup, but I do think, especially having now this IL stint for Justin Verlander, Peterson's trying to put himself in the rotation. It's a really good spot for a decent pitcher, a guy with some decent upside to kind of go out and show out. And the Mets have a better lineup, so that's why I'm rolling with them. And we could show the best bets here. We do want to let you know DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NBA. New customers can sign up with code CHGO. You can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook, again, an official sports betting partner of the NBA with code CHGO. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. My best bets tonight, again, no Cubs game today. Sox will play at 7:10. Got the Mets and Marlins at 5:40. I like the Mets. I got them on the money line at -110. It's gone back to -115. But that's one of my best bets tonight. Just kind of talking about Peterson, that matchup. I like the lineup. I think they have the power. Mets are very contact heavy, but the Mets play pretty. The Marlins are pretty contact heavy, but the Mets play pretty good defense. So I like them to win that game tonight.
Nice. Yeah, I do. It's at -120 now. You said it moved up to -150. It's up to -120 now. Get it now before it keeps moving, because once it moves past -120, I just wouldn't even touch it, because you have to put more money down to get better, value. And I know a lot of people don't like to do that. So get it now while you still can.
And get this now while you still can. 1-0 hit parlay for Cody Delmendo so far on the year. If you like value, you got to love a parlay. So why not give the people what they want? They want the hit parlay. That's 1-0.
Yeah. Okay. So tonight's hit parlay, no Cubs game tonight. So normally there'll be, same game parlays for the Cubs game or
maybe a Cub in here. I know you had Nico in the last one.
Yeah. So tonight we're going Yordan Alvarez, CJ Cron, and Mookie Betts. Now, Yordan Alvarez against Lance Lynn in his career, he's bagging 455 and 11 at bats. He's got a home run against him. CJ Cron in 25 at bats. He's batting 320 against Kyle Freeland. He's got 3 homers against him. So
I think he went deep last night too.
Yeah, he hit a home run last night. So he's coming into this game feeling pretty good. And then Mookie Betts, he's batting 304 and 23 at bats against Merrill Kelly. He's also got 3 home runs against him. So I'm not asking for home runs. I'm just asking for a hit. They got good numbers. All 3 of them got good numbers against their pitching matchup. Cron hit a homer last night, like you said. Yordan Alvarez even hit a home run last night.
Dude, don't bring it up.
Well, you won the game. It's all right.
I know, but that man is just ridiculous.
He is ridiculous. Yeah.
He's going up against Reynaldo Lopez, who's chucking 100 miles per hour on his fastball, and his 93 touched, or his slider touched 93. First pitch he sees is 100, and then the next pitch he sees is a slider 92, basically in the same spot. But his control, his patience, and his ability to just attack is insane. And he just like very casually flicks a 92 mile per hour slider, just 450 feet. Like insane person, insane player. I mean, he's so frustrating to go up against because that's like, you can't get him out. So him to get a hit, him to get a homer, I think it's a great bet any day because that guy's just ridiculous. Yeah. He's one of the best in MLB.
So the parlay comes out to plus 245, but Alvarez is minus 205, Betts is minus 210, and Cron it's interesting that's only at minus 175. Based off the history, I'm a little surprised it's at minus 175. Most in these hit parlays, anything that's usually minus 200, as far as just a guy to get a hit, I wouldn't say it's a lock, but you definitely feel pretty good about it. And so I'm a little surprised the odds are a little low on Cron, but or high.
You mentioned his success, Cron versus Martinez, right?
Yeah, Nick Martinez. Yep.
Plus 650 for a homer. I don't think that's horrible. If he's got success, you mentioned total hits too. You even try to play total bases of over a half. It's at minus 195. So, yeah, it's kind of tough. Maybe doubles. Him to hit a double is at plus 425. So I do like the Cron angle, but it's tough to. Baseball's a weird sport to try to find those nice numbers for play.
Anyway,
it's like minus 195 for him to get a hit, and you really don't want to just lay money on that.
Right. And one thing I'm doing for baseball season this year, because there's so many games every single day, my unit is $5. I'm going $5. I'm not going more. I'm not going less. $5. Again, yesterday was very profitable. I had Cubs money line. We also had Orioles money line. And I had the hit parlay. I actually didn't give this out, but I parlayed Cubs and Orioles money line as well. And I came out about $40 higher than the day before. So we're riding that momentum into tonight. So yeah, we'll have a Cubs parlay tomorrow. Tweet it out. Make sure you're following CHGO Bets or me on Twitter at Cody_CHGO. As far as like a money line play tonight, like I took the Orioles just because it was a good value play, and also I'm very down on the Red Sox this year. I look at these few games tonight. I kind of like the Diamondbacks because I'm kind of high on them coming this year, but the Dodgers, Dustin May is pretty good. I don't know, but it's at plus 165. Yeah, plus 165. I might sprinkle, but I don't really like tonight's slate as far as money line play. But that is one that I would take. That or the Mets. I do think the Mets win tonight, and you get them at minus. Well, now it's already back down to minus 115 again. So I think it's a good play to make as well.
My big worry though is seeing 79% of the public money on the Mets money line. It makes me a little bit worried there, but hey, maybe
I forgot to mention I also took the Angels to cover 1.5, and
right.
Otani was insane for 6 innings, and then the Angels angeled where they just can't score, and Shohei Otani's the new Jacob deGrom, man. Like it's unfair.
Against a random lefty starter. Like that guy was a nobody. And they let him go like 5 innings. That was a rough one. I had a parlay that was Braves to cover 1.5. They won 7-2. Mariners to not lose by 1.5, and they won 3-0. And then Angels minus 1.5. I ended up cashing it out, taking a $5 bonus before the Angels lost that lead. But when they took a lead 1-0, I was like, I was feeling a little remiss because then I saw Ty France hit a homer, but I was glad I cashed out because the Angels ended up blowing it for everybody. Final picks from me today. We'll talk a little bit about FAU and the Final Four in just a second. Mets money line, as Cody talked about, it's now at minus 115. I got it at minus 110. White Sox money line at plus 130. The last time the White Sox faced Christian Javier, The lineup was as follows, and this wasn't 1 through 9, but Luis Robert Jr., Danny Mendick, Adam Hazley, AJ Pollock, Reese McGuire, Andrew Vaughn, Josh Harrison, Jose Abreu, Jake Berger. 2 players are on that team now. Luis Robert Jr. and Andrew Vaughn are the only players that have seen him. So I think getting the full White Sox lineup at plus 130. Lance Lynn has struggled against the Astros, but part of that was Jose Altuve. He's not in this lineup. I think that lineup's completely different without Altuve. I like Lance Lynn to kind of get back on a good footing against the Astros. And he, in the World Baseball Classic, was dominant. And you talked about not putting guys towards 100 pitches. I think Lance Lynn could, go near it. I think he could probably hit 95 just with his already warmed up body. Vinny has talked about the reports of him looking in regular season shape. So I like Lance Lynn to win tonight as well. I put $3.50 on the White Sox money line and $3.50 on Lance Lynn to win. I feel like he's able to go 6, and I think the White Sox can get to Javier with their full lineup. And Luis Robert Jr., he had 3 exit velocities of over 100 miles per hour last time he saw Christian Javier. He got into a 3-2 count last night in his 3 at-bats against Javier before he got to at least 5 pitches. So I think he sees Javier well. I like him to get the first hit. I don't know if TA will have a nice job, but Robert just bat second last night. So I think, TA gets out, Robert comes up for a hit. Boom. That's something that hits it plus 425. And then finally, FAU plus 2.5 at minus 110. I liked FAU at plus 2. And now it's at plus 2 in the hook. So I love FAU in this spot. I think they advance to the title game. I like UConn as well. I have a future for them to win the title at 9-1. So I'm just kind of letting that ride. I'm not going to hedge. I'm not going to play UConn minus 5.5. I'm just going to hope UConn wins and hope FAU wins, or at least covers 2.5. Those are my plays on Final Four.
If UConn wins, you put yourself in a very nice hedging situation.
Yes, sir.
Which would, good for you.
Thank you.
Related to what you're saying about Lynn and the pitch count, I think I said this before when we were not actually live, but I was talking about Corbin Burns and how the Cubs racked up his pitch count pretty decently pretty early in that game yesterday. He had over 80 pitches in the 5th inning, and I don't think he pitched the 6th. So, but the difference is that Corbin Burns didn't pitch in the World Baseball Classic. So, Lance Lynn, I wouldn't be surprised if he threw 100 pitches tonight just because he pitched in the World Baseball Classic. And obviously the White Sox, they need to get off onto a good start just because, first off, if they win tonight, you're taking a lot of momentum. You win your first series of the year on the road at Houston, a team that just won the World Series, that did the ring ceremony last night. I think that for a 162-game season, the second game of the year, I'm not saying it's must win, but it would be a very big confidence builder for that White Sox team that obviously needs some confidence moving forward. So, I don't mind it. I think that Lynn could definitely go farther if he's able to do what he does. I was a little worried in terms of the Astros have hit him well in the past, and that's why I have Yordan Alvarez in my hit parlay. Right. But I'm not really touching that game tonight anyway. So
yeah, they've hit him really well. But it's weird because even Martin Maldonado has hit him well. Martin Maldonado is 7 for 14. Yeah, and he's 7 for 14 in his career against Lance Lynn. I feel like it's just got to turn around. Bregman's been decent as well. Bregman's got a slugging percentage of 1,000 against Lance Lynn. 6 hits and 15 at bats, 1 double, 1 triple, 2 home runs. He's a monster with also, I think, 4 walks to 2 strikeouts. So he's dominated him, but Abreu's been pretty tough, been pretty bad against Lance Lynn in his career. I don't know if he'll do too much damage. Kyle Tucker really hasn't done too much damage either against Lance Lynn, lefty righty there, but I don't know. I think Lance Lynn has been pretty bad against the Astros since 2019. And I think he's kind of pissed off about it. And I think he's got something to prove. So I just like the motivation angle there.
That's fair. I did realize on DraftKings Sportsbook, they have a boost tonight for Xander Bogaerts to just get a hit at plus. It's boosted to plus 100. And I looked up his numbers against Kyle Freeland, which I assume he probably had never faced him. And he's got 1 at bat against him, and he didn't do anything in it. So I'm saying fade it, and you can get him to go under at plus 145. I mean, he obviously is a great hitter. He's coming into the season, new team. Has to, there's a lot of pressure on him to perform. And Kyle Freeland, when he's not at course, is pretty good in my opinion. So how those boosts work on our friends at DraftKings Sportsbook work, man. This is one where I say fade and take the under on the hits.
Yeah, wow. I like the plus 145 angle. Pretty decent, Cody. Let's go. I got a soccer play that's going on right now at 2. So if that hits, I think I'll put all my money on the Xander Bogaerts under there at plus 145. I like the reverse angle there. Usually when a sportsbook wants you to bet something, don't.
I did it the other night. I did it with Luka Doncic. They had a boost for him to score 30. He scored 24. I was like, this guy's been averaging like 30 points a game all season. What the hell, man? They just know
shenanigans.
It's the shenanigans. They know something. I love them. I love them to death. They're my favorite sports book. But man, do they get you with those shenanigans sometimes. So I say fade it, take the under plus 145 for Xander Bogaerts on hit. So yeah. As far as college basketball too for the Final Four, I think I talked about it in our last show a little bit. I'm the over under for San Diego State and FAU is back down to 131.5. I really am surprised that this total has barely moved at all. I'm still taking the under, and because I'm taking the under, I think San Diego State wins the game. So I'm not going to bet it, but because I'm going to just take the under, that's it. But I would lean San Diego State because if the under hits, that means that San Diego State played the way they want to play, which is slow, and they're a very physical team, blah, blah, blah. We've talked about it a ton. So if I were to bet the game, I would take San Diego State to win outright. Maybe do money line parlay, UConn, San Diego State. Maybe that's what I do tomorrow. But I am definitely taking that under. And as far as UConn and Miami, 5.5.
But this real quick, and that under hasn't moved. It's just been at 131.5 the whole time.
Yeah, like the last show we did, it did move up to 132, and then as I checked before we started the show, it's back down to 131.5. So it's barely moved all week.
Wow, that's weird.
It's surprising to me. So, but I'm right.
What they're 12 and I think you already said that, but just to hammer it, 12-0 in their last 12.
Yeah,
going under. I mean, that's
on
insane.
the under. 12-0 on the under the last 12 games. And the only way that I would say take the over is if I fully believed in Florida Atlantic to actually win outright. And I mean, the spread's 2.5, so Vegas thinks the game's going to be close anyway. So maybe the under still hits and FAU can win. FAU's defense has actually been pretty good in these last few games. The way that they played against Tennessee and won that game outright was pretty impressive considering how Tennessee plays. And we keep talking. It's not that I've even been fading them. It's more of like, I can't get a read on them. But all season they've played fast. They want to get up and down the court and all that kind of stuff. And San Diego State is like the complete opposite. And they beat good teams. They beat Alabama. I think San Diego State has just as much momentum going in this game as Florida Atlantic. Obviously, it's the Final Four, but
the biggest thing that I can't answer about this game, Cody, is that like Florida Atlantic has been able to win some possession games, and we saw the Tennessee game. I think Tennessee plays pretty similar to San Diego State, where it's going to be low possessions. You got to out rebound them. Like if Florida Atlantic can out rebound San Diego State, they're winning this game. I mean, they proved it with Tennessee. It's just they're a lot better. Like San Diego State's a lot better of a rebounding team than Tennessee was. Like they have better form. They're relying less on their athleticism. It's a very interesting game. I think this is going to be, I know people are sleeping on this Final Four. I think this is going to be a crazy game. The total being that low just says it's going to be a tight game. I like being on the side where you're getting 2.5. I don't think San Diego State's a team that can blow out anybody. I mean, we saw the Creighton win. It was 57-56. They're trying to squeeze the life out of teams. But also, like, teams aren't going to shoot 17% from 3 against them because, I mean, that's what teams have done so far throughout this tournament. I think they're 5 for 40 in the last 2 games from 3, both Creighton and Alabama. So it's like this game, I totally understand you being on San Diego State side. I do see the under. I think Florida Atlantic will play into that pace there, but it's going to be a banger, I think.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, I think the safest play is the under, but anyone can win that game. I do think UConn wins against Miami, but so whoever you think is going to win this game, money line parlay with UConn, why not? Like, I would be shocked if UConn lost the way that they're playing right now. Like at the same time though, like Miami just beat Texas. Like sorry, Joey. I thought Texas was going to win that game, man. Like, and they should have won that game. Like, they were up by double digits going in with like 10 minutes to go. I'm not saying that Texas blew the game, but we've seen some teams that have made these comebacks like this have a huge letdown the game after. So I think UConn wins that game. Joey, again, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
Shep in the chat saying, I bet San Diego State and UConn so that I could see a Miami FAU championship. Either my bets win or chaos continues. We are all for chaos. Jim Larranaga versus FAU. That'd be one battle for the national title game that neither of us predicted. But also, if San Diego State makes it to the title, I'm going to be so pissed. I mean, remember when I said pre-tournament, take them 50-1?
Yeah, you did say it. Yeah, you did. When you said that pre-tournament, San Diego State was like, Mountain West? You kidding me? I'm not doing that. But
well, and then all the Mountain West narrative made me go off of it. I started doubting myself.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is the Mountain West narrative actually lived like it was true. All the Mountain West teams except for San Diego State flopped pretty early. So, I mean, it's not a bad trend, but San Diego State has always been the one team in that conference that, shows up in March. They've had some deep runs, and they've had NBA players come out of that program too. So, yeah, I don't know, but I lean San Diego State. Give me the under, and money line parlay UConn, San Diego State. That's probably what I'm going to bet tomorrow as I sit here and think about it for another 12 hours and try to convince myself to go the other route, in which I won't, because every time I do that, things don't go my way anyway. So I'm just going to go with my gut. I think we get San Diego State and UConn national championship.
A little parlay of the favorites, plus 137 for UConn money line and San Diego State money line. I don't know. I like the favorites that one day where Alabama and Houston were playing, and of course the two biggest favorites lose.
Now
getting 7.5.
I will say this: if DraftKings does another one of those parlay boost things, don't listen to our advice if it involves like whatever we're saying. Like, you know what I mean? Like if they say parlay boost for San Diego State and UConn, I might purposely just bet FAU and Miami then, just because like the sports book shenanigans, man. Like I wouldn't be able to live with myself if that happened to me again. I've been avoiding it all March. Every time they've given one, they haven't. I've faded it, and it's worked out for me. So I would have to fade it again because it's just what I've been doing. So
well, and real quick, Bryant saying, "Watch UConn will lose. It's March, baby. 15-0 out of conference. I mean, when they're not in the Big East, they're 15-0, and I think they have a margin of victory over 10. Like, I mean, in the tournament, it's like 15.
Yeah, they beat Gonzaga by 28. I stupidly bet on freaking Gonzaga only because the Drew Timme narrative and the fact that Mark Few has yet to win a national championship. And I thought this was his best chance considering the teams that are left. And what do? They come out there and get pounded by 28 to this UConn team. I ain't fading UConn again, man. I'm not doing it. I'll be able to go to sleep tomorrow night. If UConn doesn't cover tomorrow or win, whatever, I'll be able to go to sleep and live with myself. It's kind of like what I said about the national championship game with Alabama and TCU, or not Alabama, but Georgia and TCU. I believe we both took Georgia in that game. And I think I said something along the lines of, I'm taking Georgia. The spread is big, but I'm taking Georgia because if TCU does some crazy shit, at least we get an entertaining game. But if Georgia freaking blows them out and I were to bet TCU, then I'm going to hate myself. And this is a very similar scenario where like if I fade UConn this time and it doesn't work out for me, I'm going to hate myself. I will hate myself if I fade UConn and it doesn't work out for me. So, and
I have so many regrets just not taking bigger alt lines on that. The fact that they wouldn't let me go all the way up to 30 on that alt line is true shenanigans. They knew TCU was going to get blown out.
Yeah. Joey, who's our producer, says, hello, Jordan Hawkins, very good. He is very good, too. He might be the
good.
best player left in the NCAA tournament, and he's definitely going to be in the NBA at some point. So,
yeah, I mean, is he a freshman?
I don't know enough
20?
about him.
He's 20.
I've just been watching him play. He can shoot the ball. I'll give him that much.
He's
Sophomore.
he's a sophomore.
Yeah.
I think that guy's a pro. I think that guy is literally the smoothest player I've seen all tournament. Anyways, that's going to wrap it up. We do want to let you know about a good partner over at Manscaped. This is a public service announcement. Manscaped now has beard products and is going even further with their brand new Weed Whacker 2.0. Go ahead and tell the world the leaders in the below the waist grooming are traveling north of your South Pole with their revolutionary grooming products. Their new Weed Whacker 2.0 and their new beard line confirms that they all have the best tools for your hygiene toolbox. Time for you to upgrade your game by going to manscaped.com and using our code CHGO Bets for 20% off plus free shipping. We've also got the Beard Hedger Pro Kit, which I've been using, and it's got a nice little flashlight on it. It's waterproof. Use it in the shower. Make sure you get a hair drain, folks, so all that hair is not going down the drain. But it's a fantastic product. It's just held up over an entire year when they originally sent us products a year ago. It's fantastic. It's the best electric razor that I've ever used, and I highly encourage you to go to manscaped.com and get 20% off and free shipping with CHGO Bets. Again, that's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com using our code CHGO Bets, and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Again, it's no competition. It's waterproof. It's easy to use, and you can line yourself up real good. So there you go.
You used mine the other day. It's awesome. Love it.
I am also, as we end the show, putting money on under 0.5. Xander Bogaerts did not get a hit at plus 145.
Sportsbook shenanigans, man. Sportsbook shenanigans. Take the under on Bogaerts hits tonight.
They're cooking something up. And guess what, Cody? You told me to stop betting on soccer. We're up 2 units already betting on Marseille and Montpellier. I took Montpellier at plus 500. They took an early 1-0 lead, cashed that out for about $4 more. And I also had both teams to score. That hit in the first half. Turned 10 into about 20 or so. So let's go. We're rolling on soccer.
All right, man. What
right.
If things are going well, great. However, I do look. When I looked at what you put in Slack today, like, Luis Robert to get the first hit of the game. I'm like, what is this, dude? Like,
he's batting second.
I don't care.
I think Tim Anderson gets out.
What if Tim Anderson does get a hit, or what if Luis Robert doesn't get a hit, but then you don't make it all the way back around? Like, it's just, I don't know.
I put a sprinkle on it.
I know, but I hate those bets. I can't make those. I'm not risking the money on those.
It's my DraftKings Sportsbook account.
It is. I hope they work out for you. Because
Cody, I think I've placed 6 bets for tonight. So of course we're going 6-0 tonight. I mean, that's just the vibe. That's the vibe.
Absolutely. Manifest it.
Yeah. For Robert first hit, I only put $3 on. So it's $3 to win 15. I mean, it's a little sprinkle. It's a sprinkle. It's plus 425. I mean, it's one singular event. If you're putting it on a parlay, you're happening for 3 things to happen. Tim Anderson needs to get out and Luis Robert needs to get a hit. That happens.
Yeah.
We'll see. But anyways, that's Cody Delmendo. You can follow him on Twitter at Cody_CHGO. I'm Sean Anderson. You can follow me on Twitter at Sean_W_Anderson. Thank you to Brian Robertson for hanging out with us in the chat. Sean Connolly, Shep Russell, and our guy, James Orlando as well, and Jordo. We appreciate everyone for hanging out with us today. Shout out to Joey Spathis for helping us go live. And thank you to my internet for holding out. That's Cody again. I'm Sean. We'll talk to you next week when we are, in fact, millionaires. Go Owls.